Dopest Renegades was good. I told y'all we had another one. This is one that we should have already had a few months ago, man. Salute to the homie AIX for reminding me, man. They dropped like a comment with a super and everything. And I was just like, yo, like, hold on. Yeah, that's right. We didn't do Eden. We gotta go back. We gotta spin the block. You know what I'm saying? So when we was doing the whole money game series, man, I know a lot of you guys wanted to see Eden. We just never got around to it. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get this one up here, y'all. Y'all already know what time it is. Appreciate you guys showing up. I hope you guys enjoyed the Dead Wax edition of Illest of Our Time that we did earlier today. If y'all ain't seeing, I'm going to put it over here in the corner of the video so you guys can watch it after this. And make sure you check out the whole playlist too if you're new to the channel. Like, we've been out here cooking. We've been walking, not running, doing our thing. So, all right. So, Eden. There isn't really much about Eden. When I look it up and everything, as far as like Ren really talking about it, I think I have to probably watch an interview or something like that. But obviously, you know, Eden, the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve. I'm guessing that's where this comes from and everything, and things, probably seeds that were like planted since birth. You know, like how we ended up being doomed and all that stuff. You know, I can make my predictions all day, but then the day I don't know what Ren's gonna do. Y'all know what Ren's gonna do. I don't know what Ren's gonna do. So I'm always intrigued and ready to get it right into it. The song is 8 minutes and 50 seconds, so it's a very long song. Ready to dive into it with y'all, man. Appreciate everybody showing up. Thanks for all the love and support. Let's see what's popping with Eden, y'all. Salute to the Dopest Renegades. Let's go.
Let me tell you a story as old as time. The story of Adam and Eve.
It's like a video
It
game.
starts with a God who wanted more. God had just created the heavens and the earth. He had the angels by his side, but they had no will of their own. And so the autonomy to love or reject him was never theirs. All but for one. The once called bringer of light. Lucifer, morning star. Lucifer was the fairest and most intelligent of all the angels. He was the closest thing to God's image, and in his likeliness, Lucifer felt restless. He began to question and doubt God. He doubted the hierarchy opposed upon him. He felt God was arrogant. In his frustration, Lucifer built a throne that stood even above God's and declared mutiny. A war ensued. God, being all-powerful, came out the victor and banished Lucifer from the heavens and exiled him to earth. Once again, God was alone with his power. Perhaps from loneliness, perhaps from curiosity, perhaps from a desire to share love, God began to work on his greatest project yet, a being that would mirror himself, the human, two humans specifically, Adam and Eve. They were placed inside a paradise built for them on earth, the Garden of Eden. In the garden, God placed a tree that bared fruit that would grant anyone who ate it powers bestowed only to a God, to tell good from evil, left from right, to live righteously or to sin. He named this the Tree of Knowledge. God told Adam and Eve they could eat whatever they wanted in the garden, but never the fruit from the Tree of Knowledge. And if they disobeyed him, it would be punishable by death. The basic way the story of Eden is told is that Eve was tempted by Lucifer in the form of a serpent to eat a fruit from the Tree of Knowledge. Convinced, she bit the fruit, she passed it to Adam, and he did the same. Suddenly, ultimate knowledge filled their minds, and they realized they were naked and felt shame. God discovered this betrayal and felt angered. He exiled Adam and Eve and cursed them with the life of a mortal. They would work, they would bear children, and they would die. The fate of a human. Now look deeper.
In the story, the serpent tempted me by telling me I would gain ultimate knowledge and that God would spare me.
Both were true.
This wasn't some great deception, meaning that Satan, in the likeliness of God, perhaps understood his intentions. In fact,
The only lie uttered in the
Garden of Eden was
by God, who did not end up
condemning
Adam and Eve to death.
death.
This could be seen as an act of
Mercy, but the sheer fact that the tree existed and that humans
were initially cut off from this knowledge.
may imply some part of God was afraid that if humans were granted the gift of perception, they, like Lucifer, would have the power to reject him too. The fact that there stood a beautiful tree that could
grant this knowledge in the first place
implies that a small part of
God, supposedly all-knowing,
perhaps wanted and intended
the humans to bite too.
In the Bible, Satan was an exiled angel of free will. Humans are exiled
descendants of Adam and Eve.
also with free will. Not only have we shared a similar fate to the devil, we were also both constructed in the
We're
image of
also
our
both
Creator,
constructed in the image of our Creator.
meaning our behaviors, in some shape or form, imperfectly echo His.
We could assume that this kind of
God has his doubts, but as the most
powerful
Being in the universe
he has no one above him
to turn to with questions, and no one to
Doubt but himself, an incredibly lonely and isolating existence.
We must only assume that the common thread between God, Lucifer, and us is the desire for more, an eternal curiosity, a desire perhaps birthed from a seed of loneliness. If not, why would we exist in the first place? The constantly looping bittersweet irony is whether gifted by some omnipotent God or simply a byproduct of billions of years of evolution, here we stand in 2023 as creatures with free will, the only creatures that understand and define good from bad, creatures with the potential of a God. And what do we do with that free will, my friends? We willingly walk to the edge of a cliff. In the name of progress, we jump off the precipice. The empires we build ravage the earth. The natural order of things are necessary to survive. Any systems which do not honor homeostasis eventually perish. Our free will overrides our own biological instinct. We can take more than we eat. We can kill more than we need. We can willingly create weapons with the potential to burn everything we've built to the ground. We willingly decide to bow at the altar of greed, the most insidious and destructive of all sins. We put our faith in corporations who pose as rulers. We willingly allow ourselves to be led by outdated power systems ran by corrupted politicians
and bloated dictators who claim domain and dominion over an open and free land.
We willingly elect the corrupted when the decision was always ours to build something better. We willingly create and impose separation because of beliefs that we are force-fed through our phones and television sets. We always had the will to reject these things, but we adhere to them as though they were the laws of physics. War, famine, pestilence, greed, these aren't things imposed upon us by an all-powerful God or by his demonic adversary. They are here because of us, not because of free will, but because of our inability to use it. We must be motivated to be better, not out of fear of punishment of an eternal damnation, but because the choice exists, because we love ourselves, because we have the power to absolve ourselves of so much unnecessary suffering. Take a second to be in this very moment. In this moment, how much suffering is happening all over the planet right now? How many people are dying of illnesses that could have easily been cured, but aren't because of the selfishness and greediness of humanity? How many people break their backs and reject their own passions to simply afford bills and food? How many of us crave distraction from existence? How many of us numb that pain in whatever way necessary? How many children are being abused? How many people sleep cold and hungry on the streets? How many of us become cogs inside a machine that is destroying itself? How many soldiers have been forced to fight in meaningless wars? How many humans have killed for ideals they don't believe in or understand? How many people have died for the greed of another man? And how much of this was avoidable? As written in the Bible, Satan was not condemned to hell. Satan was condemned to earth. He lives there amongst other creatures with free will, who always had the choice and still chose their own undoing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our self-made hell. The bittersweet irony is this is a creation of our own design. I'll leave you with this. Consider what you have done here today. You have worked together as individuals collaborating to form a giant neural network, a hive mind.
Hold on a second, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I thought that it was gonna be a I thought it was gonna be a song. I thought it was gonna be a song to it. I thought there was like an Eden song, but it's like it's Ren like pretty much speaking on everything. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. Is there a song to it? Because this right here is like, this is very informative too, by the way. Like, I'm not like this type of stuff right here. I feel like everybody should know about this. Even like when you take it deeper, like when you go to like a deeper dive when it comes to stuff like this. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Inkian and Lil, the twins and everything. If you think about them too, some people incorporate them with like the Bible and all that stuff too, because now we're talking about stuff like, you know, before like what we're talking about and things like that. But yeah, y'all, let's get back into it. This is like a class right here, y'all. Ren is like a really good teacher.
Irony is this is a creation of our own design. I'll leave you with this. Consider what you have done here today. You have worked together as individuals, collaborating to form a giant neural network, a hive mind capable of achieving incredible things. We have lent on each other's strengths to solve puzzles and decipher riddles.
The pig.
And we've done so to win money. Imagine applying that same spirit and determination to creating the closest thing we have to paradise here on Earth. By using the power of collaboration, we can work together to even the playing field for everybody. Our dystopias can become utopias. Our Jahannams can become Jannah. Our hells can become heaven, right here on Earth. And this sentiment applies to atheists, agnostics, and believers alike. Myself, I'm an agnostic who believes. I believe in us. We must do better because we can choose to. We must be better simply because the option exists. Thank you.
Very informative right there, y'all. Sick boy. Yeah, so salute to Ren, y'all. Salute to Ren. See, now I gotta like freestyle like some research real quick, man. Hold on, y'all. I gotta see something. I just gotta make sure that I didn't miss anything. Cause it's not really, I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this isn't, hold on, let me see. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Let me see. All right, whatever. I can't find anything. Yeah, I know I like to provide research for you guys, man. I couldn't provide no research from this, but like I said, this right here itself is very informative. I like how Ren starts off like with the whole Adam and Eve story and everything. He starts off with Adam and Eve, and he like explains it to people because surprisingly, I ain't gonna say surprisingly. It's really not surprising that a lot of people don't know the story of Adam and Eve. But it's good that he has this out here, especially people that follow him and all that. And yeah, man, when you start digging into this, like you start noticing a lot of things, and you see like how greedy the different countries are, like how like we're like the last people on their minds, like we're not the ones that they want in power. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of different things that go on behind the scenes that we don't see, and then some stuff go on right in front of us. You know what I mean? So it's like, what do you do about it? I wish I would have been pausing it when I was going through it with y'all, man. Like for real, I was over there waiting for a beat to drop. I thought it was like the longest intro ever, to be honest with you. I was like, yo, this intro kind of long. Maybe there's a 2-minute track at the end, you know what I'm saying? But nah, I'm over here looking at this right now, and it has the verses set up, you know, when he's talking about everything, when like Adam and Eve and like, you know, the freedom of choice and all that other stuff. Because like what Inkian and Lil, like that story, like I don't really want to get into that story. I want you guys to kind of research that, and then it kind of, you know, gives like some clarity. You know what I'm saying? Whether you believe it or not, that's on you. But like it kind of gets some clarity behind a whole bunch of things, like prior to like Adam and Eve and everything. But then like according to that, like Inkian and Lil are present during this whole Garden of Eden thing. They're present, and it kind of provides like some insight to a lot of things and answers some questions. And it's like you could choose not to believe it or to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what your faith is. You know what I'm saying? But it's there for you to research. There's a lot of stuff out here to research, and with this age of information technology, a lot of times you can fall into a rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? There's some people out here that get so much information, they just end up unaliving themselves because it's too much. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. So the more you know, the more you know you don't know shit. You know, and that's pretty depressing. So it's like if you're gonna do your research, please give it time to breathe, man. Because I know people like personally that would dive so deep into these rabbit holes, man, and they can't make it out of there, man. So definitely do your research, but do it sparingly. Do it like spread out and everything. But yeah, so that was Eden for y'all, man. I appreciate you guys pulling up and everything. I really enjoyed it, as always, with Ren's track. Like I said, I never know what he's going to do. So this right here just certifies what I was saying. So salute to him. Salute to you guys for pulling up. I hope you guys enjoy both the videos and everything. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Protect your peace with your peace. Stay away from negativity and naysayers. Dopest Renegades. You guys are the greatest, and I will see you guys later on this week. I'm not sure when I'm gonna drop another video yet. I gotta see everything that's going on. I did my live stream yesterday, but my internet was still tweaking. So today I'm gonna go get a pod to see if I can extend this internet and everything. They gave me a new router and all that stuff, but when I tried to stream last night, it just didn't work. Like I was trying to multi-stream on YouTube. That's why if you go on YouTube right now, you'll see me getting it together for about 30 minutes. It's like me and my kids were trying to like get everything right. But then like maybe a few minutes later, I end up just cutting the stream. So I had to cut it on YouTube. I had to cut it on Kick. All I could do was have it on Twitch. So the rest of the live stream is on Twitch. So if you guys are on Twitch, you know, I'm KingLo757 on Twitch. Go ahead and check it out up there. You know what I mean? It's like a 3-hour video. We was playing Def Jam Fight for New York. We was talking about a whole bunch of different things. Whole bunch of people from like my Twitch community pulled up. Whole bunch of day ones from the 2020 streams pulled up. It was a dope vibe, man. I had a lot of fun, man. So in total, we did probably like a 4-hour stream. But like I said, it wasn't all on YouTube. 30 minutes of that 4 hours is on YouTube. So yeah. But all right, y'all, let me go and get up out of here, man. I love you guys. I will see you guys real soon, man. You guys stay focused. You guys stay motivated, stay driven. Keep doing your thing out here, man. I'm going to keep learning, doing what I can. I'll holler at y'all on the next one. Y'all be easy. Peace.